Topic number 1. Conventional general cargo handling including cargo gear. Cargo handling equipment. Ship's gear. This is defined as the components used in lifting and moving the cargo. There are 3 main categories of ship's gear, and those are standing rigging, running rigging, and deck fittings. Standing rigging, it is the cordage which is settled in position. Standing rigging is nearly between a pole and the deck, utilizing pressure to hold the mast immovably in place. For the proper care and maintenance should be applied to the tapping lips, cargo runners, guys and preventers, cargo blocks, tapping lip blocks, and derrick fittings. Running rigging. This includes the moving parts of the ship's gear. Major items of these are tapping lips, booms, midship guys, cargo runners, outboard guys, and preventers. Deck fittings are used to lead or secure standing and running rigging. It includes pad eyes, chocks, cleats, and bits. Derrick, it means lifting gear device for hoisting and lowering loads, having a derrick boom pivoted at its keel by a gooseneck bearing, the head of which may be swung in even and vertical plane. There are utilized for common cargo ships to lift cargo on and off. 2 types of rigging derricks. First is the single swinging derrick, then the other one is the union portage derrick. Lifting equipment on board: snotter, web slings, canvas slings, endless slings, round slings, pallet, cargo net, chain slings, bail hook, vehicle spreader, cargo hooks, and shackles. Block and tackles. Block consists of 1 or more pulleys or sheaves fitted in wood or metal frame, while the tackle is an assembly of blocks and lines used to gain a mechanical advantage in lifting and pulling. Different type of tackles: single whip, runner, gun tackle, lap tackle or jigger, and 2-fold portages. Kinds of derricks. Hallen derrick. It is defined as the boom is connected with the lower portion of the mast, which is formed like a Y, or a bipod, and hence it could be a single swinging derrick. The bail derrick. It is defined as quite similar to the Hallen but without use of outriggers. On top of the boom is a T-shaped yoke assemble. The potent derrick. It is used for lifting every heavy cargo on board. And lastly, for this topic, it focuses on the safety, reminding us that we should work always, and we must consider in our minds that we must work safety, because on board it is the golden rule that safety first is very essential in working. So here in this topic, It includes safety precautions when handling crane. So first, keep the load below safe working load value or the SWL. Second one is appropriate certification. Third one, only the right person should operate the equipment. For the fourth item, know the equipment. Fifth item, efficient lubrication. Sixth item, check the wires. For the seventh, use the securing clamps. 8. Check the weight of the load. 9. Check the anticipated paths. 10. Check for the cracks in the base. 11. Check the proper lighting or the lights of the cranes. And lastly, for the 12 is the ship's load disturbing or the load plug.
Hatch cover typically are lighter distilled fluids. Modern design method using a finite element technology enable more efficient materials distribution which result thinner structure. Different type of cargo hatch. First, the folding type hatch cover consists of two flat type tapped panels which are operated via hydraulic arm. This may be fitted on the boat weather deck as well as the twin deck. A major advantage of the design of the folding type hatch cover it is the large size of which means less of number of panels. Second is rolling type hatch cover. Consists of the two cover at the end of the hatchway. Wheels are fitted which help in the sliding of the panels either outwardly in the case of the side of rolling, longitudinally in case of the end of the rolling. This type of hatch cover are usually fitted on the large ship. Hydraulic rams are required to raise them to rolling position as they are extremely heavy and have very large dimensions. Third is the lifting type hatch cover. A single panel cover consists of the single cover of each opening. This can be same in main lid of the bulk carrier. In case of multi-panels cover, a single holding cover is via multiple number of cover. These are most commonly observed in cellular container ship in the case of longitudinal build and for multi-purpose cargo ship in case of transverse build. Piggyback hatch cover are used on the bulk carrier when the available deck space is sufficient to accommodate folding, side rolling, or and to support the lifting panel of the end of the back. High lift the standard high lifter system consists of the 4 cylindric cylinder. Variable synchronization of the cylinder is achieved through the system of flow distribution via controlling valve. Next is the stacking cover type. This type of facility are used on the ship of having relatively smaller hatch cover. It consists of hydraulically powered lifting crane facility whose purpose to lift the cover longitudinally and stack it together as one of end of door over any empty stowage tank. It is relatively cheap and it's used mostly in the barges. Ensuring watertight is integrity while at the sea of the primary objective of such cover. Several report causality are related to the loss of the watertight integrity due to the collapse of the hatch cover steel structure or failure of lack of device. Difference between watertight and weathertight. A watertight cover prevents the passage of the water when exposed of the head of the water. A typically head of the water for a ship could range for 3 to 10 meters. A weathertight is designed that it can be subject to the adverse weather condition experienced offshore. It is also designed to withstand brief submersion experience from green grass. The tightness test. First, the choke test is often carried out when the vessel is new in the shipyard. All compression bars are rubber wedged in the face of the choke. The relifter of the hatch cover are put in the place of the structure, and then we open it. The second is the hose test. It's the traditional way of the testing hatch cover. It is the easy to carry out, and the crew can do the job. It is inexpensive as the fire hose with a nozzle and good water pressure from the fire pump. It all that is needed.
Topic number 3. Cargo-specific information. Fundamental securing procedures. Shifting cargo presents risk such as harm to the vessel or blast. It is vital that all safety measures be taken to ensure cargo from shock, fire, high temperature, dampness, or any dangers that may lead to catastrophe. Securing was needed to be made to resist forces generated by the vessel in response to sea conditions and includes various wooden structures. This also includes any straps or wheels that are used to restrain cargo stowed in the holds and on the weather deck of a ship. In this topic, there is a big question. Why is there a need for solid stow and securing of all cargoes? The answer is cargo on board a ship will tend to shift with the motion of the ship. This requires the cargo to be lashed or secured to the vessel structure. In any case, lashing with ropes, wire ropes, iron restraining is not very effective since the fact that the fixed lashing have a tendency to work or to loosen free with the motion of the vessel. Cargo securing arrangements. Blocking. It is the act of attaching solid pieces of wood or blocks to a deck, bulkhead, or overhead so that these pieces lean directly against the cargo to prevent its movement. Shoring and towing. Shoring, it is a process of blocking and bracing to prevent the side-to-side movement of the cargo by the means of supporting it from the side. Towing, it is the process of securing of cargo to prevent upward movement or motion. Choking, the process of securing cargo inside a container. Lashing, it is securing of cargo for transportation with the goal of minimizing the shifting. Heavy loads and lifts. Heavy lift items and fragile cargoes are often of high value and great weight. They may have fragile parts that must not be reached, and they may or may not be reasonable for carriage on deck, which can without a doubt mean by rain and sea water. Passage operations. A passenger ship is a merchant ship. Essential work is to carry passenger. The type does, however, incorporate Numerous classes of vessel outlined to transport considerable numbers of passengers as well as cargoes. Deck cargo. The cargo that are usually carried on deck includes, but is not limited to, the following and many extraordinary cargoes can be carried and have also been carried in the past. Stowage and lashing of timber deck cargoes as laid down by IMO Code of Safe Practice for ships carrying timber deck cargoes. The code is intended to make recommendations on transportation, securing and other operational safety measures aimed at ensuring the safe movement of mainly timber deck cargo. This code refers to all vessels with a length of 24 meters or more engaged in transportation of timber deck loads. Timber load line. Special load line assigned to ships complying with certain conditions related to their construction set out in the international condition or load lines and used when the cargo complies with the conditions laid down in the code for storage and securing. The weather deck is the uppermost complete deck exposed to the sea and the weather. Stability of the ship. The process of loading and unloading timber deck cargo should be positive and to a standard and acceptable to the administration. Container cargo. Containers come into two basic sizes, which are the 20 meters and 40 meters, and are commonly known as TEU, stands for 20 equivalent units, and FEU stands for 40 equivalent units. The external body of the container is made of corrugated sheet metal and is not capable of taking any load. The four corners hub shoes are strengthened to take in the loads.
Topic 4. Bulk cargo. In response to the danger associated to the shipment of certain types of bulk cargos, the IMSBC code provided information for the safety of the shipment and bulk cargos. There are the various kinds of seaworthiness and stability of the ship. Angle of repose, which correspond to the maximum slope angle of non-cohesive granular material. Cargos that may liquefy because of the certain proportion and amount of particles and moisture. Flow state that occurs when the amount of granular liquid to an extent under the influence of vibration. Transportable moisture limit. Ventilation and refrigerated cargos in which the moisture or condensation is the main cause of cargo ventilation. Because of the failure of ventilating correctly, that may result on grain and steel surface. However, all modern bulk carriers is fitted on some sort of ventilation, either natural or mechanical, which can be used to minimize the formation of sweats. List in heel, that refers to the list of the shifting cargos and the inclined action of wind and waves. Hygroscopic products have a natural moisture that are mainly of plant origins that resulting to have a cargo at risk. There are two types of sweats. Cargo sweat, condensation, which may form on exposed surface as a consequence of a large amount of warmth, and the ship sweat. Condensation, which form directly on the vessel structure in the air within the hold, both of them influenced by the saturation and related humidity. There are various components on the preparation of cargo holds. Cleanliness, dryness, odor, ozone, lime testing and refilling, ventilator, and tested pipe. Such components must be checked to ensure safety of the cargoes. There are pre-cooling and precaution of the loading that needed to be emphasized. In the approved grain loading methods, there are various issues that needed to be checked, such as the cleaning of residues in holds, condition of loose rust, channel and drainage, and stains on the holds. There are also a criteria on hold cleaning, such as the checking of previous cargo determination, removal of cargo residues, removal of loose rust and paint flakes, condition of hatch cover, removal of previous cargo stains, presence of insects, and cleanliness of hold bilge. Before loading, hold cleaning, grain cleaning, average moisture content, and the appointing a surveyor are the components that are allegedly important. During loading, visual inspection are held. After loading, cargo temperature taken at time is a must. While during voyage, fumigation, ventilation, and trimming must be carried out.
Topic 5. Separation and segregation of cargo. Separation refers to the material used to separate blocks of cargoes by port rotation or by receivers. The idea is that if the cargo is properly separated and marked, it would avoid confusion during discharge of the cargo and thereby prevent overcarriage. The need for separation and marking of cargo. Cargo for different ports must be kept separated for easy identification to aid correct discharge. Spector, labor in many countries may be illiterate and may not understand any port name or marking on the cargo. Separation consignment. There may be many shippers shipping the same type of cargo to the same destination. Hence, to retain the identification of each consignment as described in the bills of lading, they are kept separated from the others. Separation are placed to prevent one cargo from chopping or damaging a more fragile cargo. Non-compatible cargoes need to be kept separate. Hence, there will be a need to segregate dangerous cargo, cargoes liable to contamination by other tainting or fragile cargoes. As failure to observe such requirements could give rise to a most hazardous situation involving toxic or flammable gas being given off as byproduct. Compatible material are those materials which may react dangerously when mixed and are subject to recommendation for segregation. Stowage of cargo and distribution on board as per discharge port is important in order to control trim, needs, and stresses of the vessel during various stages. When cargo is discharged at subsequent ports, stowage of cargo and distribution on board as per discharge port is important in order to control trim, needs, and stresses of the vessel during various stages when cargo discharged at subsequent ports. Segregation of different cargo with reference to dangerous goods. If more than one class of dangerous goods is carried on board, they either require proper separation or they cannot be stowed together in the same compartment. Depending on the class and nature of the goods, they have to be segregated using the IMDG segregation table. Segregation of different cargoes with reference to dry, wet, and delicate goods. Dirty cargoes should never be carried in the same compartment as clean cargoes. A general comparison of dirty cargoes would include such commodities as oil, paints, or animal products, whereas clean cargoes would cover the likes of foodstuff or fabrics. Delegate cargoes shall be suitable marked as fragile and shall be so stowed that these are handled with care. Same shall not be stowed in the same compartment where heavy cargo are stowed. The stowage of hide must be away from dry goods and ironworks. They have pungent odor and should be stowed well away from the other goods that are liable to spoil. They should not be overstowed. Separation between parcel of cargo and methods of separation. In order to carry goods safely, the vessel must be seaworthy and the cargo space must be in such a condition as not to damage cargo parcels by ship wet, stain, or cause and any other harmful factor. To this end, the chief officer would cause a cargo plan to the constructed to ensure the separation of cargoes are easily identifiable and that no contamination of products could take place during the course of the voyage. Separation of cargoes, it is often a requirement when separate parcels of the same cargoes are carried together that a degree of separation between the unit is essential. Depending on the type of goods being shipped will reflect the types of separation method employed. Example of separation materials include color, wash, tarpaulins, burlap, paper sheeting, dunnage, chalk marks, rope, yarns, or polythene sheets. The ideas of separation is to ensure that the cargo parcels, also may be looking the same, are not allowed to become inadvertently mixed.
Part 7. Cargo Space Inspection. After cargo unloading, it is very important for the responsible officer to perform a proper inspection. It helps identify for the damages on the structure. It is impossible to prepare holds before loading the next cargo. Why is inspection and preparation of holds important? Cargo spaces used for loading should be inspected to ensure that the compartment intended to be loaded with the cargo is clean, dry, and ready to receive cargo. During thorough inspection of holds, we must avoid contamination, prevent cargo damage, ensure safety by inspecting ship structure and checking for corrosion cracks and fire safety. An example of items to be inspected. Number 1. Check that the designated compartments are clean and ready to receive cargo. Number 2. Check that the drainage and bilge functions are working effectively. Number 3. No leakage from ballast tanks present. Number 4. Inspect and ensure all means of access to the compartments are safe. Number 5. Inspect cargo hold ventilation system. Number 6. Inspect and ensure hatch covers are weather tight and all the securing devices are in good working condition.